Are you ready to get wellness in your life? Are you concerned about the rising cost of healthcare and the access to healthcare services? The chronic diseases that make up a large portion of healthcare expenses can often be avoided with early lifestyle changes, good nutrition, and smart choices. I'm Rebecca Marshall with the Salem Apothecary, and we're gearing up to help you get wellness in your life as we celebrate 40 years on the historic Salem Square, and that's including visits with historic businesses on the square with our chats about getting wellness. So this morning, today, I am here talking with Rhonda Geralde about her business, 3 Stories Trading on the square. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca, and thanks for having me on your podcast.
Well, I'm excited to hear all about. I know a lot about your business, not a lot. I know about, but how did your business get started? That's what I want to know.
Well, for many years I worked inside sales at Childcraft Industries as the national or the key account manager, and I would go to shows as in that function, and I saw all these great baby products that I felt like weren't going to have an opportunity to see the light of day, because they were brought to the show by people who had great ideas, but they didn't have a business sense of how to get those out into the market. So I knew from all my years working with Childcraft and all my connection with national retail customers that I could help them bring those products to the market. And so the idea was born that I would start my own distribution facility. I would gather all those products in from those great new manufacturers, and I would bring them to the market. That was the beginning of 3 Stories Trading Company.
Cool.
In 2014, yes.
But it was pretty much just an online business at that time?
Well, I had customers, I had national retail buyers in my bag of tricks that I had relationships with. So it was online through companies like Macy's.com and Kohl's.com and JCPenney.com and those types of people. Amazon, of course, Walmart, of course. So it wasn't my online business. It was my channeling those products into those national retailers for the people who had new products. So that was the beginning of it. So in 2014, we bought the building over here because it was available at 14 Public Square, and we got busy transforming it into a little shipping and distribution facility. And then we were all looking at each other one day, and I said, you know what, we have all these great things in here. We need to open the front door and have a retail space. So that's when that happened. So that was also in 2014. It didn't take long to get that idea. Because it was just pretty evident that we should be doing that. So that's why we have so much great stuff within one little building here, one little storefront in Salem, Indiana, because otherwise, I mean, you know, obviously Salem's a small town, so otherwise you don't get the traffic normally to have such a broad selection. But because of the other side of our business, we do have a broad selection. Yeah.
But it's you have clothing, you have toys, you have
we have
things that are educational.
Yes, yes, we have lots of things for babies and toddlers and kids. And in 2024, we even launched our own brand called Pippin Spalding.
Yes.
Which that idea, it'd take me too long in my podcast to tell you how that all came about, but Pippin Spalding are 2 gnomes that live in the woodlands, and they're surrounded by all their little woodlands creatures friends. And the first item in the series of products from Pippin Spalding is the world's first and only seek and find blanket for toddlers and kids. So we did so well with the first one in 2024 that we've launched a second one in 2025, which is Pippin Spalding and their friends in a Christmas scene, and it's a Christmas themed blanket, and it'll be ready in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes, it is exciting.
I must admit, my grandchildren have number 1, so
yes,
I'm looking forward to number 2.
Yes, number 2 will be here in a couple of weeks.
Okay, well, tell me, because we're talking about history too on the Salem Square, so What can you tell me about the history of your building? That's the history of your business there.
Right, exactly. So I brought in a picture that my friend Larry Perley at Lejean's gave me, which nobody can see, obviously, but it is a good reference piece for me. It says the building was built in 1882. Originally, a lot of people may know this or may not know this, but the Lynx building and the 3 Stories Trading Company building were one building.
Now that was what they called the Berkey store.
Yep. And it was a dry goods and clothing store in Salem, Indiana. So at that time, excuse me, what that meant is that they sold, everyday workwear, like boots and shoes and things that men needed to work. They sold just daily wear stuff, plus they also had some fashion pieces and so on. But so I honestly don't know how long that business stayed in existence, but I do know that when they split the 2 buildings, or split the building into 2, our side became the Perley and Bowling building, which if you look in our entryway, there are tiles in the floor there that say Perley and Bowling. That was also a dry goods building, selling similar products to what they had as the Berkey brothers. And then when we first moved into the building, there were boxes and boxes of receipts from back in the day when it was Perley and Bowling, which was interesting to look at because it was the 1930s. Most of the receipts were from the 30s, late 30s and early 40s. And they sold hats for 25 cents and
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, and galoshes for $1 and things like that. So how things have changed. But and again, I don't really know the year that Bennett's Clothing and Shoes became the owner of the building, but that was there throughout all of my childhood and even my teens.
Most of us around will remember Bennett's.
Yes, exactly. So, I remember when they sold the Red Goose shoes, and that's my first pair of shoes, and we always went in there to get school shoes. And as a teenager in the 70s, they didn't make jeans for women or for girls. So we bought the Levi's, button fly Levi's, and that's what we wore as jeans, in the 70s because, it's about all you could get.
That was what you could do then.
And that was very fashionable in the 70s was the button fly Levi's that we got from Bennett's. So.
But is that the walkway that goes into your store that's all tiled and stuff, that was something that came in the Bennett era?
No, that was actually in the Perley and Bowling era.
That was the Perley and
because
Bowling
they
era.
have the Perley and Bowling tiles in there.
Yeah, okay.
So it says that there. So yes, that was that era. So I don't know really what sort of changes they made. The interesting thing, the building, the way it was originally built, with the walkway around
upstairs.
The little what we call the mezzanine, and it's really we call it the second level, but it's really just an extension of the first level. It is perfect. It was perfect for Bennett's because it has all those shelves up there where they stored the jeans and the shoes. But my understanding is that railing and that walkway was original to when the building was transformed into the second building, the Perley and Bowling building, back in what I'm going to say was probably the 20s or the 30s.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, of course, it's ideal for us, and I didn't even realize how ideal it was when we bought the building in 2014, because it's ideal for us to put all of our products, very well organized onto those shelves on the second level, and we pull from those shelves every day to fill our orders. So it is ideal for us as well. And then the third floor, what we call the third floor, which is a glorified great big old big second floor, is ideal for all of our shelving and our cartons of products. And so that's what we store up there, which, thank goodness I've got young people who work for me, because when the trucks come in, they've just got to haul all that stuff on their backs up to the third floor. But yeah, that's pretty much where we've been and where we are.
Well, that's great. That is wonderful. I'm so looking forward to your Christmas breakout.
Yeah, our Christmas blanket. Yep.
Because the other thing that as growing up in Salem, I remember about the store is the Santa that used to be in the window.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so now you've got another Christmas thing that can go in the window.
Yes.
Your new Pip and Spalding.
Yes, we actually made a big backdrop. I don't know if you've noticed it, but we took the art from the Christmas blanket And we made this huge backdrop that covers the wall in there. So it's a nice back setting for our Christmas decorations that are about to happen.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That'll be so cool.
Yes, very much
So,
so.
do you have a lot of walk-in traffic, or do you think you have more online traffic?
Absolutely more online traffic. The interesting thing, one of the biggest challenges I think for our business, even though we've been there since 2014, I have people walk in like every week who live in Salem, and they say, well, I didn't know you were here. So
I have that same problem.
Yes, after 40 years. So that really is quite a challenge, and it's really hard to understand that, with all the advertising that we do. But continues to be a challenge. So yeah, I'll put in a plug for our new Chamber of Commerce director, Adam Dufour. I'm hopeful that he can have some ideas to help us change that. Or not Adam, but Jacob Dufour.
Yeah, Adam is his dad.
Yeah, is his dad, but I hope he can help us change that.
I was discussing that with somebody the other day about parenting, and saying that we used to ask when people came in to interview for a job, kids, who are your parents? I said, yeah, I'm at the level now where I don't ask who their parents are.
Right.
I ask who their grandparents are.
We know you don't know them, but
I ask who their grandparents are.
Right, exactly. Exactly right. Yes, yeah. But that has been one of our biggest challenges, is people, making people aware that we're here. Because when they come in and they see all the clothing that we have for babies and kids, primarily babies, but they're just like, oh, I wish I'd known you were here when we, were waiting for the baby to come. Yes, yes.
So I think I know the answer to this question, but about what you do on your free time.
Think. Always thinking. And I am very blessed to be surrounded by a family of thinkers. Okay.
But you're also an outdoor lady.
Oh yes.
Because you are.
Yes. We live out in the country, so I've been blessed to be able to have
Jefferson
lots
Township
of pets.
Jefferson Township's a good place to live. I grew up there too.
Yes, that's where I came from, but I actually live in Washington Township now.
Okay.
But we have 35 acres just outside the city limits. So we've had horses and we've had goats and we have cows or not cows. I've never had cows. Where did that come from? Going back to Jefferson Township days, but dogs. We've dogs and cats. But yes, horses have been my passion.
So animals are a good way, I think, also to de-stress.
Absolutely.
That you can, if you either curling up with your pet or riding a horse,
right, or just spending time with that horse, brushing that horse. Yes.
So that's where I'm going with my health tip for the day, because we do have a certain amount of veterinarian products that are non-prescription here, and one of the things that is really popular, I don't have horse strength, but we do have curcumin for animals as well as for people. Herbal products are kind of getting a resurgence right now. One, because of the cost of medication, but also because they've been around for a long time, and for a lot of things can be very helpful before you have to get into the high-powered medication stuff.
Right, tried and true sort of stuff. Yeah.
And so curcumin, which comes from turmeric, is very popular to help either with horses and or animals like dogs, no, I don't believe that it's recommended for cats, but particularly for dogs, for arthritis, for any kind of inflammation, for joint work and that kind of thing. And surprisingly, when I started doing some vet medicine, I thought it was interesting that a lot of times the animals had the same issues that their owners had.
That is interesting.
Like sometimes doing diabetes medicine for a dog or something like that. But curcumin is another one that's in that same category. Although it's good for dogs and for horses and other animals for arthritis, it's also good for people.
Oh, good.
And so again, something that people can try before they have to go to prescription medicine. And I'm always glad to talk to people about what they need to do in terms of non-prescription medicine and how it can fit in with their prescription medicine.
So is that a supplement, or what form
Well,
does that take?
it would be called a supplement because it's not available non-prescription, but it is an herb, so it is considered. And herbs are usually considered supplements, but it's not a supplement in the sense that like vitamin C is a supplement. It's not a naturally occurring substance in the body,
Okay.
but it is an herbal product that people can use and that our animals can use.
Okay.
And so that would be my health tip for today, is to stop by and see me about what you might need or what your pet might need.
Right, exactly. Well, that sounds like a good plan.
And actually, we're getting you're gearing up for Christmas.
Yes.
We're going to be gearing up for Christmas here too, and so now is the time to be thinking about some of those Christmas gifts that you might want to purchase, whether it's a new Pip and Spalding blanket, or maybe it's some of the other kinds of arts and crafts that we might have here
Yes.
at the apothecary. So I hope people will consider the Salem Square as a place to do some Christmas shopping this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do too.
Thank you for coming today, Rhonda.
Thank you for having me.
This is Rebecca Marshall, who's marshalling Salem on this podcast to celebrate our 40 years of pursuing health and history on the Salem Square. So come listen to us again soon.